Hello and welcome into Hawkeye HHQ Weekly podcast. Evan Denton alongside Joel Keller. Joel, my heart rate is back down to normal. Iowa made me sweat it out a little bit on Saturday. They knock off Michigan State 20-17, a winless Big Ten Michigan State team that is, and they avoid one of the biggest embarrassing losses in the Kirk Ferentz era. What went wrong for the first three quarters?
Everything. It just looked. The team looked dead. They, especially after the first quarter, after all the Ouijan fun,
right?
It was just like, okay, this offense is just awful.
I mean, they lost the last two games. You thinking they're going to come out with more of a spark on offense?
Mm-hmm.
That was not the situation. MSU more or less controlled the line of scrimmage. There wasn't really any offensive flow, and it was really MSU's game to lose through the first three quarters.
It was, and I was kind of thinking, okay, this is Gronowski's game to get back right. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a beautiful day outside. It's like 50s, not a lot of wind.
Right.
And there you have the home crowd behind you now after being on the road for a little bit. But no, I mean, I don't know if he had a good ball pretty much all game until the fourth quarter.
Right, yeah. I mean, and it was also senior day. So, yes, there might have been an emotional factor, but that's got to wear off after maybe the first two drives or so.
Yeah.
Iowa was just stagnant besides the Caden Ouijan punt return that we will get to in a little bit. But no, it was shocking because we were texting during the game between the USC second half and the first three quarters. Iowa's offense didn't score a single point. The only points were a Caden Ouijan punt return touchdown.
Yeah, and it's not even they didn't score a single point. They look like the joke that Iowa offense was with Petrus, with Caden McNamara and Deacon Hill. It looked like they regressed so much. You don't see Iowa regress during the year like ever.
Exactly. And so it was 17-7 after the third quarter. With about 10 minutes to go, I looked around. There were people leaving Kinnick Stadium. All right. So while it might have been sold out to begin with, by about 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, there were clearly open seats. But that's when Iowa flipped a switch and you say, you know what? We're not going to lose on senior day. And they scored the last 13 points to win 20-17. So what ultimately changed in that fourth quarter?
Yeah,
everything.
Literally everything. No, they just started making the plays to move down the field. The run plays kind of set them up out of the sticks. Yeah. And it was more of the Iowa team that we've been seeing that a couple of weeks ago we were talking about, oh, can they sneak into the playoff?
Right.
Or is this going to be a 3-loss team? No, they could just completely – they figured it out. And – luckily, the defense was able to make the stops to give them the opportunity to even get back into the game.
Yeah, I thought it was a combination of big-time players make big-time plays and big-time moments. Mark Gronowski, like you said, early on in the game, was not throwing the ball well, but he threw one of the prettiest TD passes I've ever seen to Jacob Gill in the back of the end zone. Perfect placement, touchdown Hawkeyes. That really got them moving. And then we saw how Oregon beat Iowa late on that throw down the sideline. Iowa had its turn this time around with Gronowski down to Reese Vanderzee. A juggling catch sets up Drew Stevens for ultimately his final field goal inside of Kinnick Stadium. And it was really a matter of seniors making big-time plays on senior day.
Yeah, it really was. And, I mean, at the end of the year, that's kind of who you rely on to make those big plays. And I think back, too, to the beginning of the season, it's like, okay, why did Iowa go and get Mark Gronowski? Well, when was the last time Iowa had a winner?
Yeah.
And Mark Gronowski's a winner. And, he like you said, he didn't look great, but Iowa got him for the final quarter when they needed the offense to score. And he's done that actually consistently all year long. And this time it actually amounted to a win.
And so obviously you're the native Iowan on this podcast. I'm from Michigan. Have you become just accustomed to seeing Iowa play in one-score games throughout your entire life?
Yeah. I just expect it to be stressful no matter what. Yeah. And it makes those blowouts so much fun. I know, I'm sure for you, when Michigan was in their peak a couple years ago, and Ohio State fans are probably another blowout. I'm going to go do some yard work in the second half. But no, those blowouts just become so much more fun to watch. And it's okay, stat padding a little bit. There we go. We look good. So, yeah, other than the few of those that we've had, it's always been a one-possession game. And it's nice when you win. I will say it does feel good. But when you lose, too, it's just this stretch that we were on was it was just awful.
So
so close.
Iowa improves to 2-4 in one-score games this year. Reminder to our viewers that they were 16.5-point favorites over Michigan State going into the game, and they won by 3. So read into that as you will. All right, but Saturday also had a record-breaking performance. Caden Weegan now has 6 return touchdowns. That is the most in Iowa football history. He has more or less cemented himself as an All-American, right?
Oh, yeah. That's a guarantee, right?
Yeah. So that will continue Iowa's stretch of having at least one All-American. Kirk Ferentz even said it on Saturday that it's because of Caden Weegan that Iowa remained in that game. And without his long returns, that's a completely different ball game.
Yeah, I don't get why teams keep punting to him.
It makes no sense.
I sit back there and I watch every game, and they punt it like right at him too. Mm-hmm. Especially like in this game, Weegan takes one to the house in the first quarter. Why are they not punting it out of bounds the rest of the way? And he had the big one late that helped Iowa set up to score too. So it's just like, I don't know what they're doing, but keep punting to Weegan, please.
I mean, it's got to be a little bit of Michigan State's ego thinking, oh, you know what? We have the best punter or so in the Big Ten. He can just out-punt Caden Weegan. And they were playing with fire, and ultimately they got burned. That's another reason why I think Jonathan Smith, the Michigan State head coach, is going to be on the hot seat, because literally you let one guy beat you. And you're still winless in Big Ten play this year, and you had every opportunity to win this game. Iowa was giving it to you, and you gave it right back to him. So
yeah, I don't know how he keeps his job at the end of this year.
No, it's definitely going to be an interesting offseason unfolding in East Lansing. But also on special teams, you have Drew Stevens. All right, he's now made an Iowa record 73 career field goals, including the last one as time expired to win the game 2017. He missed one about 5 seconds previously before the kick, but MSU tried to ice him. How would you describe Drew Stevens' evolution as an Iowa kicker?
Yeah, I mean, he came in as a freshman and as an underclassman, and he would show his like sparks of like, okay, this could be a great kicker. Like he's got a great leg, powerful. I mean, he can boot it out of the stadium. Mm-hmm. But then, you know, at the end of 2022, he had all the confidence issues. Yep. And I think that Nebraska game, it was almost like I almost just wrote him off. Mm-hmm. I was like, yeah, that could be it, you know, for him. I mean, 2 blocks in that game, a couple missed field goals. I mean, how do you come back from that mentally? Right. But he did, and I mean, he's been phenomenal. And this year, like, he's had some misses, sure. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of question marks with the long snapper. Yep. He had a couple skid off the ground, and I think Stevens, he's done pretty good. I'm sure if you talk to him, he'll always want that Indiana game back because he should have made that, but. I don't think I was seeing someone with like as powerful as a leg. Like who else is hitting 55-yarders and stuff
consistently?
Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. And just seeing him on the field post game, just his long embrace with LeVar Woods, you could just see. I mean, there were tears down his eyes, just how emotional, how much that moment meant to him. Because he talked about in the post game, he missed the final kick of his senior year back in high school, and that kind of went through his mind. Like, okay, same kind of situation. But this time I'm going to deliver. He said there was no way that ball was not going through the uprights. And he more or less called his shot. He called game, and Iowa fights on to beat Michigan State 20-17. You've seen some pretty good Iowa kickers over your years. Where would you say Drew Stevens ranks amongst Iowa kickers?
So obviously he's probably not at the level of Nate Kading.
Right.
That's the standard.
Mr. Right? Automatic.
Yeah. You know, Hall of Famer. Yeah. So. But I think he's right up there probably with Keith Duncan, Marshall Kane, where there's a couple of misses. And I know Keith Duncan, that's a tough subject.
I don't want to talk about it, but
a couple of misses, a couple of stretches where they aren't super great, but at the end of the day, you look back and they made the kicks to win. They had exceptional seasons like Stevens did last year, and this year was pretty solid looking back at it. But yeah, right up there. I mean, there's just so many good ones. I mean, even like Miguel Racinos. I mean, he kind of split the role with Duncan, but he was also really, when he was knocking him down from deep, we've been blessed as Hawkeyes.
So I have in my notes, literally, Keith Duncan is the one name I cannot say as a Michigan fan, because 2016, to this day, that Michigan loss at Iowa still haunts me, because that is the greatest what could have been Michigan team. And it's all because Keith Duncan's right leg ruined it for them. They still would have made the playoff if Keith Duncan hadn't gotten in the way. And 9 years later, still have not gotten over it. So,
and you know what? The craziest thing is Iowa I saw this on Twitter, so take it with a grain of salt. But in the last decade, Iowa has had the most wins by a last-second field goal. By a field goal with 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter. They've had the most wins in the nation. And, I mean, you think back, it's like every year there's like 3 games.
Right. They know Iowa legitimately lives in close ball games, and it's now in their DNA, and they've gotten used to it. So
yeah, and Drew Stevens is guaranteed to kick a game winner against Nebraska on Friday.
We shall see if that comes to fruition. So overall, Iowa is 5-2 at home on the season. What grade would you give them for their home play performance this year?
I give them a B+.
Okay.
I think to get an A, you gotta win one of Indiana or Oregon, but you got Penn State, and you played Oregon and Indiana close, and then you did end up winning the rest of them, right? This Michigan State one wasn't great, but yeah, a B+ is I think, in my opinion, good.
I'm on the same boat as you. I gave them a B. Ultimately, they beat the teams that they're supposed to beat. I mean, you got Albany, UMass, Michigan State, Penn State, okay, and then Minnesota. You should beat those teams.
Blowout too for Minnesota. Right. So I think that probably gets me to the plus over the solid B.
They are one play away from being an A grade, in my opinion, if they are able to knock off Oregon. And you can say they're 2 plays away from being an A+ if they complete that Hank Brown screen pass to Kamari Molden against Indiana.
Yeah.
They're that close to being an A+, but they're also close to being a C if they would have lost to Penn State without that Mark Gronowski long run. So I think if you really think about it, 5-2 and a B grade, B+ is probably pretty accurate for this team.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, I mean, I would take it a step further too on the downside. Like there are a couple they're a Norwegian punt return from probably losing to Michigan State, and at that point I'd drop it from a C to an F for me. I mean, losing the winless Spartans would have been. Let's just say this podcast would not have been as fun.
This Iowa team has definitely kept us on our toes the entire season, especially for the home schedule. But another big part about football is obviously the food. You know, there's tailgating involved. And Joel, you had an opportunity to talk with one of the main chefs over at Kinnick Stadium. What was that like? What was that like for you?
Yeah, no, it was amazing. It was such a fun time. On game days in Iowa City, executive chef Stephen Hanley's day starts at 3 a.m. sharp.
It's more than just a job for me. It's my life.
A life that has included sports for the great majority of it.
My mom and dad, they always said they thought I was going to play football or do something like that, play sports. Definitely didn't think kitchen or anything like that.
After injuries took over his athletic career, he turned to the kitchen. His team won a culinary contest in high school, which earned him a scholarship to a school in Florida, where he crafted his skill.
It was 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. We ran a restaurant through the school. It was open to the public for lunch.
And the hard work paid off.
You need more? Just let me know.
In his second year working at his first job, he became the youngest to run his own kitchen at 19 years old. Cooking had become his life.
All right. Got this one when I first started working in the kitchen. I found out what I really loved.
Hard work. 4 years later, he got the matching tattoo. Pays off.
I also have to reflect on the things that I have done and have accomplished.
In his 11 years of running kitchens across the nation, he always finds time to talk to his customers.
Bruschetta's tomato, onion, garlic, balsamic, and basil.
There you go. Well, we got lots of compliments.
Well, good. I'm glad.
And take pictures to log every memory while on the job.
Job fulfillment is the best way to put it. Yeah, it's rewarding.
In Iowa City, Joel Keller, our Quad Cities News. So I didn't get there right when they started. They start at 3 a.m. on Saturdays, and they're prepping all week. So they're saying the executive chef that I talked to, Stephen Hanley, he probably works 60 to 80 hours depending on the week. So the amount of work that goes into it is crazy. And the coolest thing to me is like the quality of food that they're making is exceptional. Like everything looked good. I got to try some stuff. It was phenomenal food.
Okay.
And, you know, I love tailgate food, but no one's got it better than the people in the AD box and the people in the president's box up in that press box. They got some good treats during the game. Well,
we're all looking forward to that story that you're going to do on the chef. But I noticed that you didn't bring any to share with the class. What's that about?
Oh, yeah. You know, Hawkeye fans ate it all the nervous eating.
Man, you had one job to bring back the food for this podcast and you didn't do it.
Man, I apologize.
That's rude.
Hopefully we can work past this.
So we are leading into Thanksgiving. Did you learn any new food recipes that you're gonna try on Thursday?
I didn't get a lot of their recipes.
Yeah.
Maybe the lemon pepper green beans.
Okay.
Honestly, like maybe I've heard of lemon probably on green beans.
Yeah.
But I love lemon pepper wings.
I do too. Yeah.
Maybe I'll get my mom to cook up some lemon pepper green beans.
Okay.
For Thanksgiving. But also, like, I love my green bean casserole. So, like,
interesting.
You have too much green beans, probably.
I think so. Yeah.
But that was probably like the one side like I'd try to recreate.
Okay.
But no, it was cool. They did like a Thanksgiving meal to go with the theme. Against Oregon, they actually did massive T-bone steaks.
Where was my invite for that?
I'm saying, and they had like Iowa engraved on the bone.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I should have came a couple weeks earlier and could have been eating good.
That is quite the spread. But no, we're all looking forward to that story. We can know for sure it's going to be a good story. Let's go from the gridiron over to the basketball court. The Iowa women's basketball team, they are 6-0 on the year. Pick up a neutral site win over top 10 Baylor in a game that was not fun to watch. A lot of turnovers,
nope.
But as they say, a win is a win.
Yeah, that's one of the worst basketball games I've watched in a long time.
Yeah.
And that's what Baylor's kind of MO is. Mm-hmm. Both men's and women's is make it dirty,
right.
Make it disgusting basketball, and pull out a win. So the fact that Iowa could win when Baylor had them playing their way, that's pretty impressive.
The Hawkeyes now have a dynamic duo for sure between Hannah Stuelke and Ava Hayden. This is Hayden's line of 18 points, 11 rebounds. Stuelke, 10 points and 8 rebounds. They are getting it done in the low post this year for the Hawkeyes.
Oh yeah, I don't know how a team's going to shut them down. I mean, you saw it too against Miami on Saturday night. They're just too dynamic. They mesh with each other so well. I will say Hannah Stuelke, not a big fan of throwing up the threes all the time. I think it's time to retire that a little bit. But no, they are almost unguardable because most teams don't have two elite post defenders, and that's how you're going to stop them too.
And obviously they've been coached a lot by Jan Jensen in low post. It's still mind-boggling to me that their bigs don't dribble basically ever. They get the ball, they pivot, they turn, either they go over or pass it back out. But Jan Jensen's MO as the low post coach, I don't want to see my post players dribble more than twice. It's still working.
Yeah, no, and I like it too because, I mean, that's where a lot of turnovers happen down in the post is you put the ball on the ground and then it kind of gets knocked around or a little bit or they lose control. So I like the way they do it. And the fact that there's hardly any travels, especially between Hayden and Stuelke, is just even crazier.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she's gone from Monica Zanano to Addison O'Grady to now both Ava Hayden and Hannah Stuelke. Jan Jensen knows how to coach post players. And Coach Jan, we trust. On the outside, though, Taylor Stremlow probably had her best game as Iowa Hawkeye, 12 points, 4 assists. You pair that with the fact that Kylie Feuerbach was in foul trouble. But just to see Taylor Stremlow's confidence continue to grow, she could be an X factor for Iowa moving forward.
Oh, yeah. She's going to be probably the heartbeat off the bench all year long, I think. And that's what makes a good team great is if you have people who can come off the bench and really ignite a team. So her addition to the team is amazing, especially on nights where Emily Rodriguez isn't playing the best ball by any means. This team their depth is there, and the ability for anyone 1 through 9 to pick up the slack of someone else or if someone's in foul trouble is just it's impressive, and not a lot of teams have it. And what's even crazier is how young Iowa is.
9 players are either freshman or sophomore. And I was looking at the box score. 10 players played at least 5 minutes against Baylor. So somehow, some way, Jan Jensen is able to carve up all of these minutes to keep people happy. I don't know how she's doing it, but she is working magic with that. Emily Rodriguez is the wild card for this team. All right.
Yeah.
She goes all out every single possession, which is good. But she needs to be able to reel it back sometimes and know time and score, different basketball philosophies. Because I love her intensity. But just let's continue to play within the offense, play within ourselves if Emily Rodriguez can. Yeah.
I think the biggest play over the last week was late in that Baylor game, fast break. Rodriguez has the ball. The entire bench is screaming, "Stop, stop, stop!" And Rodriguez goes spin move, a couple dribbles, spin move, and then kind of just throws it up. And almost gave the game back to Baylor.
But see, if that shot goes in, it's one of those no, yes moments that ends up on SportsCenter top 10. But then, of course, the shot misses, and Iowa has to hold on for dear life. But they do get the win. And yes, that win came in November. But how big can that win be, say, in March when they're trying to build a resume?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this win is – the Baylor win is one that can probably shift you up a line, I think. And to add that with the Miami win, too, I mean, Iowa's setting themselves up where they don't necessarily need to win the Big Ten in the regular season or in the tournament to host a game at Carver. They're pretty well set up right now at that spot. And obviously, AP number 11 this week. They're in a phenomenal spot. It's always nice when you kind of start out there, right? Going into the Big Ten season, you don't have to work your way up. So they got the resume already in the non-con. Let's stack on a couple more big wins.
I mean, the Big Ten, though, early on, the season's looking pretty tough between UCLA, even USC without Juju Watkins this year. Michigan took UConn down to the wire. Silas Swartz is a bucket getter. They lost that game by 3, but they're still ranked number 6 in the country. It's going to be a tough Big Ten season.
Yeah, Maryland in the top 10 as well.
Nebraska's always strong.
Yep. There's not going to be an easy day really for the Hawks, so they're going to have to be on it.
Yeah, but they are 6-0, so great start for Jan Jensen and company. On the other side, men's basketball, also 5-0 on the year, but kind of in the all right, who have you played kind of situation, because Xavier is not the Xavier of old this year under Coach Pitino. But now they get their first real test against Ole Miss, a team that went to the Sweet 16 a year ago. But this might be one of only 2 marquee non-conference games between Ole Miss and then Iowa State. So is this kind of a must-win for Iowa?
I think so. And, you know, kind of what I was talking about with the woman, like, oh, it's nice when you can start out and you're in the tournament, you're hosting for the women's side.
Right.
If Iowa can get this win, it's number 37 and 38 right now in the AP rankings, with Iowa ahead. And if they can get this win, you're probably looking at a top 25 ranking as long as they don't slip up going into the Big Ten season. That's going to be massive. And just to have this win on your resume when you go into this Big Ten schedule that you know you're going to slip up a couple of times. Every team does. You know you're going to get a couple marquee wins. This just adds to your resume. And hopefully can keep Iowa in that 7 range. I mean, who knows? Maybe they get to the 5. But I don't think we're going to see a top 5 seed out of this team. But, I mean, this is a great step in the right direction.
I definitely think that this is a must-win non-conference game because the rest of their schedule in the non-conference, Iowa State, Western Michigan, Bucknell, UMass Lowell.
Yeah. Not a lot of resume builders there.
Then either the winner or loser of either Grand Canyon or Utah on a neutral site. So it's either going to be a Power 4 team in Utah or Grand Canyon made it to the tournament last year, but that's not nearly up there with Ole Miss.
Yeah, those would be quad 2 wins, whereas Ole Miss on a neutral court, that's a for sure quad 1.
Right.
And, I mean, there's not many times you can say, like, okay, for sure quad 1 win in the non-con schedule. So it's a nice opportunity to have.
Ole Miss is also 5-0 on the year. They had a good game against Memphis, a team that played Purdue, number 1 Purdue, down to the wire, but they still also have not left their home court, so this should be a very interesting matchup. Going into this, who do you think might be an X factor for Iowa?
Man, I don't like just the depth. I think because we've seen the depth, and you know it's one thing when you're playing like all these smaller teams, but if they can come out and you can get good pieces off the bench to score, you know, you're not asking like 10 plus points, but if you can get maybe 20 or 30 points from the bench, night in, night out, Ole Miss against Iowa State, that's going to be a good sign. Even if you lose those games, it's like, okay, they can't compete. They all the way down 1 through 8, 1 through 9 in that rotation. So I think that's going to be the biggest part. And just keep moving the ball around like they have. Ball security has been amazing so far.
Yeah.
Do it against a real team. Show us.
So I might have a cop-out answer for this. I went with the freshman class between Tate Sage and Trevin Urach. Like you said, we've seen Iowa play a lot of their bench players through the first 5 games, but they haven't really played anyone. I think this might be the freshman's welcome to college basketball kind of moment.
Yeah.
And how do you adapt to playing potentially a tight late game situation ball game? Or is this the beginning of Ben McCollum really making his rotation like 7 or 8 people deep and not including the freshmen? All right, does he begin to condense it to just the Drake transfers? Then you throw in Cooper Koch, then Alvaro Figueres. So I think it's gonna be very telling to see how much trust that McCollum has in the freshman class.
Yeah, because I mean Figueres, he's automatic in that 6-man rotation, and McCollum said it the other day. He usually goes with 7-6 guys in that rotation, so it's gonna get whittled down here probably. I would love to see Urok have a great game and stick in that rotation, because to always have a big on the bench that you can trust to not only just play defense but to score in the post, that's massive. That's what a lot of the teams that go into March, that's what they have when they make the tournament.
I mean, you think of Iowa's bigs right now that McCollum clearly trusts. You've got Alvaro Figueres, Cam Manyow, and then Trevin. If he can be that third consistent big guy, that's a pretty good rotation to have.
Yeah, especially with how small Cam Manyow is. Like, it's worked now, and it worked against SEMO and their 3 7-footers, but SEMO's 7-footers aren't the same as a Big Ten 6'11" 7-footer type of player. So,
I mean, they got some pretty good size in the Big Ten between. I'm thinking about Purdue and Michigan right off the top of my head. Michigan State's also pretty big. So we're going to learn a lot about the Iowa front court in the next couple of days. But they're 5-0. Ben McCollum has his team believing in itself.
Yeah, and firing on all cylinders. I mean, the offense looks good. The defense looks good. They're a fun team to watch, and not just offensively like it was with McCaffrey. It's defensively too. And I was just thinking earlier, like, Penn's having a great year with McCaffrey.
They are.
Right?
They really are.
They scored a ton of points. How crazy would it be if we see like a number 11 Penn take on number 6 Iowa?
Oh, that would have the entire state of Iowa glued onto that game immediately. That would be a phenomenal matchup, and hopefully that does come to fruition in the NCAA tournament. All right, so let's go back to football for a second. It is rivalry week for Iowa. They travel to Nebraska. You're a native Iowan, all right? What does this game mean to the state of Iowa?
You know, so when it first started, it was it almost felt forced. It's like, oh, border battle. Well, it's like, what, 5-6 hours away from each other, Iowa City and Lincoln. But after those first couple of games, I mean, the intensity is there. It seems to always be a little scrappy, chirpy. You got a lot of pushes, extracurriculars going on after the whistle. So I think it's become pretty hated. And up until I went to Lincoln for the game a couple of years ago, and I was pleasantly surprised with Nebraska fans. It was actually a really fun experience. It was a lot better than going to Iowa State or Minnesota. It was they're the best rivalry fans. I haven't been to Wisconsin yet, and I know Wisconsin is probably number 1 for how nice they are to rivals. But no, it was actually a great time, and Iowa has also dominated as of the past couple of years. So that part has also been really nice.
So I draw parallels to this rivalry to Michigan and Michigan State, all right? Because clearly Michigan's biggest rival is Ohio State. Then it comes to Michigan State, where from my point of view, Iowa's biggest rival is either Iowa State or Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And then it's Nebraska down the road a little bit.
Yeah.
So while it's not the main rival, there's still pretty good intensity. And similar to Michigan, who has dominated MSU historically, that's how Iowa has gone with Nebraska. So I've never been to Nebraska Stadium. I've heard very good things, but to hear that they're nice to their rivals, that's a little, I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay, like not nice, but you know, you're not going to get stuff thrown at you, or like nothing crazy is going to happen. It'll be a good fun, some trash talk, you know, nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay, well, I've heard that Nebraska nice is a little bit different, so hopefully I get to experience that for a little bit. It's not the most well-known rivalry in the Big Ten, obviously, but do you feel as if the level of intensity has risen a couple of years?
Oh, yeah, and with Iowa winning all the time, it feels like Nebraska's always got that chip on the shoulder. It's like, okay, this year we're going to get it done.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, how many rivalries has it gone down to a field goal kick year after year with time expiring? I mean, it's obviously competitive, and those games always get you on the edge of your seat. So it is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to watch.
And this game's on Black Friday. I'm not typically a fan of rivalry games on Fridays, but if you play it on the same day every single year, then I guess it becomes traditional, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you get almost everyone gets the day off on Black Friday. It feels like a Saturday to me. And then the Saturday after that is kind of like the gravy of the weekend. It's like you already get all this great football, basketball on Thursday. Then you get a Hawks win on Friday. And then it's like, okay, time to watch the game, time to watch Auburn, Bama. Yes. And then you got the NFL on Sunday. So it kind of bridges the gap there from Thanksgiving to Saturday.
The game. I know this is an Iowa podcast, but that game between Michigan and Ohio State has made or broken my year, my entire life. I mean, and the fact that my Wolverines have won 4 straight and going for a 5th, oh my gosh. I'm a little jealous that I'm not going to be in Ann Arbor, but work comes first. But if I love a rivalry week, I love how it's the last week of the season too, as opposed to playing in the first game of the year. I think it just adds to the overall experience.
It does, yeah. At the end of the season, stuff is on the line. Not much for Iowa, Nebraska, but in the game, I mean, a lot of big things on the line. So that'll be a lot of fun. Are you guys going to win?
And no, I'm not going to go on here and guarantee.
No, I want to hear a true prediction.
Michigan wins 28-24.
Wow.
28-24.
Wow.
People are going to rush the field again, as they have done over the last 2 Michigan-Ohio State games. Sharon Moore is going to be crying in excitement. It's going to be Bryce Underwood's coming out game and showing people why Michigan paid him millions of dollars to play for their university. And my parents are going to be there. I'm just waiting for the happy FaceTime call that we've done in the last 4 years. And I mean, just think about it. If Michigan can win 5 straight years over Ohio State, I have never.
Is it even a rivalry at that point?
Oh, it very much is. we view it as a rivalry, but with the whole expanded playoff, Ohio State doesn't view it as much of a rivalry. And I hold out that the most important moment of Ryan Day's coaching career, he had nothing to do with. It was the day that they decided to expand the playoff from 4 teams to 12 teams. Because you think about it, it happened last year. If that had not happened and they still lost to Michigan, I don't think Ryan Day is the head coach at Ohio State.
No, yeah, probably not. They were kind of getting fed up with them.
And yes, they went on to win a natty, but man, we would have seen a blue blood implode in front of our eyes, and it would have been beautiful. So I do think that Michigan beats Ohio State. The last time that both game day and Big Noon Kickoff went to Michigan, it was for the Michigan-Texas game a year ago. And we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, you probably don't want to. The craziest thing about that game, I think, is 2 freshman quarterbacks.
Yeah,
I've been kind of thinking all year long, it's not going to be a freshman quarterback that leads their team to the championship. But I mean, if either one of them comes out on top and plays extremely good ball, that would kind of change my thinking, because this is a big game, and NFL guys on both sides of the ball for both teams.
And I know that Julian Sayin has been playing phenomenal football for Ohio State this year. But when was the last time that they got challenged going into the 4th quarter?
Yeah, no, it's
Texas,
always a win.
Week 1?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it might be too basic to say just put some game pressure on them, but just see how they react.
Yeah.
And they've steamrolled everyone on their schedule, and credit to them. They are a very good team. Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, respect when respect is due. But I want to see them play in a close game. And if the weather is going to be bad on Saturday, there might be some snow in the forecast, how does that impact their passing game? Can they win against Michigan in the trenches? Michigan, Bryce Underwood played very well against Maryland last Saturday. Their MO is running the ball, all right? And this kind of weather feeds right into what they want.
Yeah, kind of getting bailed out by Mother Nature, huh?
Oh, it's been the same. It's been that way the last. I mean, they played this game at the same time of the year. So it's not going to be sunshine one year and then absolute downpour. No, it's always been this kind of weather, football weather, if you will.
Yeah.
The Big House is going to be off the charts. Michigan knows they have to win if they want to be in the playoff picture. Oh, man, it's going to be great.
It's going to be a good time.
So let's go back to this podcast. We are heading into Thanksgiving, all right? Mm-hmm. Time to be thankful. As an Iowa sports follower, okay? Whether it's a player, tradition, or moment, what makes you grateful and thankful to be a Hawkeye fan?
I am thankful for Kinnick and just the ability to get there. It's on campus. It's surrounded by all these neighborhoods. It's just a good environment to be a part. It's not like you're going and sitting in a parking lot, just an empty parking lot with a stadium in the middle. No, it's got character, and it's still easy to get to, and it's always a good time. You always run into people you know. It's super easy to get in contact. Like, if my parents are on the other side of the stadium, it's pretty easy to see them after the game because everyone's got to go down for the kids' way. So I'm thankful for all the opportunities that Kinnick brings, that one of those other stadiums that sit in a parking lot doesn't really.
I'm going to kind of steal your answer. I'm going to say I'm thankful for the sense of community in Iowa athletics. Obviously, you have the wave and during at the end of the first quarter at Kinnick. But no, people want to know your first name, last name. They say hello to you. They give you a nice hug. It's like, have a great day. I like that a lot. And on the basketball side, after every home game, the women's basketball team, each player takes about 20 minutes or so to sign all the autographs. You see these young girls, young boys that just want to get to know them. They take pictures. And that's not always the case at other Big Ten institutions, but that Iowa women's basketball knows their platform and they use it correctly. And now with the men's basketball team, they go around and high five everyone on the first row under Ben McCollum, and it just shows the appreciation that goes both ways. And I feel like that's a rarity in today's college sports. So I'm thankful for the Iowa sports community and how they embrace one another, both fans to players and players to fans.
It's the Iowa way.
It's the Iowa way. Iowa nice, right? And then I guess selfishly, I'm thankful for the food vouchers at Iowa basketball because I recently just learned about. So you can get some nice Chick-fil-A. You can get a legitimate hot dog and a bottle of water as opposed to just the soda and popcorn. I know it sounds selfish, but they take care of us inside Carver Hawkeye. And the same kind of thing inside Kinnick. They always have a nice pregame spread, but also those postgame sandwiches. I mean, they're long days. Like, I mean, you saw the chef making food in front of you, but you could only nibble at it.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, you all take care of us. So I definitely appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. Again, the Iowa way.
The Iowa way. That was not the case back at school at Northwestern Go Cats. We didn't have any kind of media spread like that. But no, it's definitely, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Iowa.
Yeah. Iowa's on top. Iowa, go Hawks.
So Iowa heads off on the road to take on Nebraska on Friday in the Heroes game, hoping to get one more win on the year to finish at 8-4 in the regular season. Then we'll find out what bowl game they're going to go to. But favorite Thanksgiving Day food for you?
Green bean casserole.
Green bean casserole?
Yeah. Some people I understand the hate. It's a vegetable.
Yeah.
But it's so good. You got the fried onions. You got the little sauce that it's in. It's my go-to. I love it whenever I see it out there.
My mom's mac and cheese, I think, is award-winning. And so I'm looking forward to going home after the Nebraska game and just having like 4 or 5 plates full just on her mac and cheese. So, no, it's definitely going to be a good one. But for Hawkeye Headquarter Podcast, Evan Dunn alongside Joel Keller, have a great Thanksgiving.